Why surface a $3 billion silent killer right in the heart of Iran's deadliest waters, exposing itself to every enemy radar nearby? This looks like tactical suicide, but this is no accident. Meet the U.S. Navy's Virginia-class nuclear submarine. It is the undisputed apex predator of the seas. A single boat can destroy an entire nation. It is engineered to be a literal ghost. It carries enough firepower to end civilizations. Yet, in the Strait of Hormuz, everything changes. The most expensive machine on Earth is trapped. It must break its own sacred golden rule. Never be seen, never be heard. In these waters, it must show its face. Why would the Navy risk a national treasure? Is American stealth technology finally failing? Or has Iran learned to see the invisible? Something is hidden beneath these shallow waves. A physics-based nightmare that hunts the hunters. The ocean floor here is a tactical minefield. Every mechanical sound is a death sentence. Every stray bubble tells a story to the IRGC. This is a giant meeting its match. It is high-tech steel versus raw nature. How did the world's best sub become a target? What exactly is Iran hiding in the depths? Let's dive into this deadly game of hide-and-seek. Welcome to the world's most dangerous choke point. $3 billion buys you no safety here. This is where the silent killers go to die. The rules of engagement have shifted. The hunters are now the hunted, and the reason why will shock you. It all starts with a simple physical law. Why surface a $3 billion silent killer right in the heart of Iran's deadliest waters, exposing itself to every enemy radar nearby? This looks like tactical suicide, but this is no accident. Meet the U.S. Navy's Virginia-class nuclear submarine. It is the undisputed apex predator of the seas. A single boat can destroy an entire nation. It is engineered to be a literal ghost. It carries enough firepower to end civilizations. Yet, in the Strait of Hormuz, everything changes. The most expensive machine on Earth is trapped. It must break its own sacred golden rule. Never be seen, never be heard. In these waters, it must show its face. Why would the Navy risk a national treasure? Is American stealth technology finally failing, or has Iran learned to see the invisible? Something is hidden beneath these shallow waves. A physics-based nightmare that hunts the hunters. The ocean floor here is a tactical minefield. Every mechanical sound is a death sentence. Every stray bubble tells a story to the IRGC. This is a giant meeting its match. It is high-tech steel versus raw nature. How did the world's best sub become a target? What exactly is Iran hiding in the depths? Let's dive into this deadly game of hide-and-seek. Welcome to the world's most dangerous choke point. $3 billion buys you no safety here. This is where the silent killers go to die. The rules of engagement have shifted. The hunters are now the hunted. And the reason why will shock you. It all starts with a simple physical law. The Strait of Hormuz is a tactical nightmare. It is a narrow strip of water, only 21 miles wide at the throat. This is the busiest maritime choke point. Massive tankers are everywhere on the surface. Beneath them, a Virginia-class submarine dives. It is a nuclear-powered giant, but it feels like a shark in a bathtub. The water is shallow here. Average depth is only 50 meters. The pressure on the crew is immense. Navigation officers are focused and sweating. The sonar room is a wall of noise. Welcome to Stage 1, the transition from deep sea to a cage. There is zero room for any error. One wrong move means a massive grounding. The physical walls are closing in fast. Tanker propellers create a deafening roar above. The submarine is trapped between surface and sand. This is a dangerous, high-stakes game. The entry is the first hurdle, and it only gets harder from here. The crew knows the risks are high. They are entering the dragon's mouth. Every sensor is at maximum sensitivity. The seafloor is jagged and unpredictable. The current is strong and pulling hard. This is not a friendly environment. It is a natural defensive barrier. The U.S. Navy is on enemy turf. They are playing by Iran's rules now. The hunt has officially begun. The giant is vulnerable in the shallows. Every movement is a calculated risk. Now we enter Stage 2, the Bell Effect. In the open ocean, nuclear power is silent. The deep water absorbs every stray vibration. But Hormuz is a different world. The seabed is hard and very rocky. Every mechanical pulse hits the floor. Then it bounces back like an echo. The massive reactor cooling pumps, the heavy steam turbines, the spinning propulsion shafts, each sound is magnified 10 times. It is like ringing a giant bell underwater. The submarine becomes its own sonar target. Can you hide your own heartbeat? No. The sonar operators hear the resonance. It is a constant and rhythmic pulse. Every IRGC listening post can hear it. The sound travels for miles in these shallows. Stealth is slowly dying. The crew moves in absolute silence. They wear soft shoes to dampen noise. Every dropped wrench is a loud explosion. The hull is vibrating with mechanical life. It is a beacon for enemy sensors. The ocean floor acts as a speaker. It broadcasts the submarine's exact location. The Americans are losing their invisibility. They are shouting in a quiet room. The bell effect is a death sentence. The Predator is making too much noise. The metal hull rings with every turn. The reactor hums like a giant choir. The secret is out. Then comes Stage 3. A shadow emerges from the darkness. It is the Iranian Ghadir class. This boat is incredibly tiny. It costs less than a single American torpedo, but it has a lethal secret weapon. It is powered by diesel-electric engines. In the shallows, it turns them off. It sits perfectly still on the sand. No heat signatures, no engine noise, no mechanical vibrations. To the Virginia class, it is totally invisible. The Ghadir looks like a common rock, but this rock is armed and dangerous. It waits for the giant to pass over. Suddenly, a faint sonar blip appears. Then it vanishes back into the static. A ghost is haunting the shallow water. The American crew is on high alert now. Where did the ghost go? The sensors show nothing but shadows. The Ghadir is a master of camouflage. It blends into the complex seafloor. It is the perfect asymmetric threat. One small sub against a nuclear titan. The hunter is now being hunted. The ghost is waiting for a shot. The tension inside the hull is thick. Nobody dares to speak a word. The ghost is watching and waiting. It is a game of underwater chess. The small piece is checking the king. Danger is inches away. Stage 4 is the blind chase. The submarine's computers are totally overwhelmed. Millions of dollars of software are failing. They cannot distinguish targets from echoes. The roar of tankers masks every signal. The sonar screens are filled with static. It is a digital blizzard of noise. Is that a Ghadir sub? Or just a school of local fish? Everything is starting to go wrong. The tactical computer systems are screaming. Locking onto a target is impossible. The Virginia is essentially traveling blind. It is a $3 billion blind giant. Every second feels like an eternity. The tactical advantage has completely vanished. The Predator is now extremely vulnerable. Navigation systems struggle with the currents. The risk of a collision is skyrocketing. The ocean is a chaotic mess of sound. The sonar arrays are failing to filter noise. The crew is flying through a storm. They are losing control of the situation. The mission is falling apart fast. The computers cannot find the ghost. The darkness is closing in on them. The chase has become a nightmare. The captain stares at empty displays. Data is useless in this chaos. The technology has reached its limit. We are losing the tactical picture. Finally, we reach Stage 5. The breaking point has arrived. The captain faces a very grim choice. Stay submerged and risk a fatal collision, or surface and admit total defeat. The IRGC fast boats are closing in. They know the American giant is struggling. The acoustic signature is far too loud. They are circling like a pack of wolves. The captain checks the depth one last time. The risk is too high to continue. To save his ship and crew, he orders it. Surface, surface, surface. Compressed air blasts into the ballast tanks. The Virginia class breaks through the waves. It is a moment of pure humiliation. The world's best submarine is exposed. Apex Predator technology could not save it. Nature and physics won this round. The IRGC boats watch from a distance. They have forced the ghost to appear. The mission is over. The giant has been tamed by the sea. It is a shocking defeat for stealth. High above, satellites record the event. The images will soon travel the world. The invincible sub is now a target. The humiliation is complete. But why did this actually happen? How did simple physics beat the Navy? The answer lies in the water itself. Let's look at the science behind it. The secrets are hidden in the salt and in the heat. To solve this mystery, we must look at the water. The Strait of Hormuz is a unique aquatic laboratory. It is a shallow channel connecting two massive bodies. The sun here is an unrelenting engine of heat. It causes massive amounts of evaporation every day. This leaves behind a high concentration of salt. This makes the water incredibly dense and heavy. Density directly dictates the speed of sound here. Sound travels faster in salty, dense water, but it also bends much more sharply. The water is not a uniform mass. It is a complex sandwich of different layers. This is the first secret of the strait. Heat creates a phenomenon known as thermoclines. These are sharp boundaries between different water temperatures. Think of them as underwater walls of glass. When sonar pings hit these layers, they distort. Some waves reflect back toward the surface. Others are trapped in a channel near the floor. This creates massive gaps in the sonar's vision. We call these pockets sonar shadows. A submarine inside a shadow is practically invisible. It is like standing behind a thick pillar. The Virginia class is designed for the deep Atlantic. It thrives in thousands of feet of clear water. It expects sound to travel in predictable paths. But Hormuz is a hall of mirrors. The echoes bounce in every possible direction. The sub-sensors are blinded by the environment. The stealth of the ship becomes a liability. The ocean itself is protecting the smaller defender. Let's use an analogy to understand this mismatch. The US Navy's Virginia class is a billion-dollar Ferrari. It is a masterpiece of precision and power. It can outrun almost anything on Earth. On a clear highway, the Ferrari is king, but the Strait of Hormuz is no highway. It is a narrow and muddy mountain trail. The Ferrari is too low to the ground. Its tires have no grip in the mud. The massive engine is useless in tight turns. It is a fish out of water. Now, look at the Iranian Ghadir class. It is a rugged and cheap mountain bike. It has no leather seats or computers, but it is small and very light. It can weave between rocks effortlessly. It can stop instantly on a slope. The bike doesn't try to fight mud. It works with the terrain to survive. The expensive car is stuck and helpless. The simple bike is moving toward the finish. This is the reality of asymmetric warfare. Let's break a common military myth now. People think nuclear power is always superior. In the deep ocean, that is true. A nuclear reactor provides unlimited range, but a reactor is a living machine. It uses massive pumps to circulate coolant. These pumps never stop running. They create a constant, low-frequency hum. You cannot turn off a nuclear reactor. It is always on. It is always making noise. This is its acoustic signature. It is a fingerprint that never disappears. Compare this to diesel-electric technology. The Ghadir class uses simple batteries underwater. When the Iranian crew spots a target, they stop. They turn off every single machine. They sit silently on the seafloor. This is a tactic called bottoming. They become a literal part of the ocean. No pumps are running, no cooling fans are spinning, no moving parts exist. It is as silent as a rock. The Virginia class cannot do this. It is far too heavy for the bottom. Hull might crush under the weight. The reactor needs constant water flow. It must stay alive to stay safe. In the shallows, silence is the weapon. The cheap diesel sub is the apex predator. It waits for the nuclear giant above. The US sub is shouting its location. The Iranian sub is a hole in water. Technology cannot rewrite the laws of physics. Stealth coding cannot hide a mechanical hum. If the environment is noisy, loud subs die. This brings us to a shocking conclusion. Advanced subs are the easiest to find. The cheapest sub is the hardest to track. Wealth does not buy invisibility here. Hormuz, the water is an enemy. High salinity changes every sonar ping. Heat bends the acoustic path. The sonar operators struggle for a pattern. They fight the ocean and the enemy. The computer tries to filter the static. It uses millions of lines of code. But the physics are too chaotic. You think the target is at 1 mile, but it is actually right next to you. This is the big moment for analysts. The giant must surface. It cannot win against the water. The environment is the ultimate equalizer. It strips away every technological advantage. It leaves the raw reality of the sea. Military planners spend billions on sensors. They want to see through the darkness, but nature is always one step ahead. Salt can blind a radar. A thermal layer can hide a fleet. This is the invisible net of the ocean. It is made of salt and heat. It traps the unwary and protects the clever. The US Navy knows this lesson well. They have seen their best ships fail. Their ghosts have become visible. It is a humbling experience for them. Dominance is never permanent. It can vanish in a single strait. The Strait of Hormuz is a brutal laboratory. Here, nature consistently defeats expensive technology. High-tech sensors cannot change the laws of physics. Stealth is not a permanent shield. It is a fragile and temporary advantage. The ocean always protects the silent defender. This is the reality of modern naval warfare. A high price tag does not guarantee victory. Dominance is never permanent in these waters. Every superpower must learn this hard lesson. Technology has limits that we cannot ignore. The sea is the ultimate judge of missions. It humbles the strong and protects the silent. We must respect the battlefield environment. The rules are written by the waves. Success requires more than just expensive sensors. I have a serious question for you. Imagine you are a top military commander. You have a massive budget to spend. Would you buy one nuclear titan, or would you deploy 100 cheap ghosts? Tell us your strategy in the comments. We want to hear your expert perspective. If you enjoyed this dive, please subscribe. Join us as we reveal combat truths. We analyze the systems that shape our world. Thank you for watching our human-made animation. Your support helps us create quality content. Stay sharp and stay informed. We will see you in the next mission.